Hey there, and welcome back to Pure Stoic Truth. Thank you truly for taking the time to be here. If you're new, make sure to hit that subscribe button so you never miss a moment of raw, real talk that could change your life. In our last video, we uncovered the red flags only unfaithful women tend to show. Those subtle but dangerous signs that too many men ignore until it's too late. Today, we're flipping the lens. We're diving deep into something just as critical. How do girls actually perceive attractive guys? What truths are men missing? Truths that could either empower or break them. Have you ever wondered why some guys, despite looking like they have it all, still get ghosted? Or why the very traits that make a man desirable can also make him disposable? What if the way women see attractive men isn't what we've always believed? Stick around, because what you're about to hear might just shift your whole perspective. You see, we live in a world where many women proudly declare, "I don't need a man. I'm independent as hell." And yet, if a man has his own friends, doesn't want kids, hires a maid, and pays for pleasure when he needs it, people ask, then why would a man need a woman? It's a fair question. But here's the kicker. Have you ever looked back and whispered to yourself, "Damn, if only I had known back then what I know now"? We've all been there. But the hard truth is, most men only learn these brutal lessons after the damage is done. After the woman is gone. After the silence becomes heavier than the noise. After the mirror reflects a version of himself he no longer recognizes. And that's exactly why I made this video. Not to hurt you, but to wake you up. Because if someone had pulled me aside years ago, looked me dead in the eyes, and whispered these 7 truths, I could have avoided years of pain. I could have saved time, energy, and most importantly, myself. But it's not too late for you. You're here, you're listening, and what I'm about to share isn't fluff. These aren't motivational quotes for your Instagram bio. They're lessons etched in scars, forged through fire, and born from regret. You ready? Oh, and before we dive into the first truth, I've got a gift for you. It's called the Female Mind Control Handbook, a free ebook packed with insights that reveal how to make any woman crave you. Now let's begin. So now that you understand, chasing women won't ever fill the void, let's take it one step deeper. Because here's the truth most men don't realize. Until they've paid the price, you don't attract what you chase. You attract what you become. In your early 20s, you probably tried everything to impress her. The outfits, the flashy car, the charming lines carefully rehearsed like a script. But deep down, behind all that effort, there was something darker. Fear. The fear that maybe, just maybe, you weren't enough as you are. And here's the harsh lesson. Women respect men who respect themselves. They're drawn to men who don't need them, not out of arrogance, but from a deep, grounded calm that says, "I'll be perfectly fine, with or without you." It's not that women don't matter. It's that they should never become your mission. Because the moment you make her your purpose, you lose the plot of your own story. And when you lose that, you lose yourself. A man who spends his life chasing is never still, never centered. Never whole. He lives in a constant state of reaction, always responding to others, instead of taking action for himself. So if you truly want her to stay Stop running after her. Start building something so powerful, so magnetic, that she runs out of reasons to leave. This is the gut punch most men only feel after they've lost time, money, and peace of mind. So here's the truth. Stop chasing people. Start chasing purpose. Because when you build a life filled with meaning and direction, love becomes the byproduct, not the pursuit. And once you get a taste of that freedom, of that clarity, you'll never want to go back. You don't have to be bitter. Asterisk. Just be better. And speaking of being better, let's talk about one of the hardest truths men face. The brutal realization that not everyone deserves access to you. Ready? Let's get into it. Now that you understand not everyone deserves access to your energy, let's talk about another truth, one that hits even harder. The world doesn't owe you a damn thing. This one might sting, but it's also the most liberating realization you'll ever have. No one is coming to save you. No one owes you love. No one owes you fairness. No one owes you anything. You could be the kindest, most loyal, most hardworking man alive. You could pour your heart into every relationship, every job, every sacrifice, and still get ghosted, still get passed over, still get betrayed. That doesn't mean the world is broken. It just means that life doesn't reward effort alone. The world doesn't hand out prizes for being a good guy. Yet so many men waste precious years just waiting for recognition, waiting for a woman to finally see their worth, waiting for their boss to promote them, waiting for life to somehow become fair. But here's the truth. Life isn't fair. It's not cruel either. It's just indifferent. And the sooner you accept that, the faster you stop acting like a victim and start moving like a warrior. Here's the twist most men never realize. Once you let go of the idea that the world owes you something, you take your power back. You stop waiting for permission. You stop waiting for someone to validate you. You take full, radical responsibility for your life. And when you do that, everything changes. You stop complaining. You start building. You stop resenting others. You start respecting yourself. The man who believes life should be fair is always frustrated, always bitter. But the man who understands that nothing is promised, he becomes dangerous, focused, uncheckable. That's what Stoicism teaches us. You can't control outcomes. You can only control your actions. And guess what? That's more than enough. When you drop the entitlement, you become unstoppable. Asterisk. You stop measuring your life by what happens to you and start measuring it by how you respond to it. She didn't text you back? Cool. You stayed calm. You kept building. You didn't get that job? No problem. You'll create your own lane. Because here's the deeper truth. Expectations are the enemy of peace. You want to be free? Then let go of the idea that life owes you clarity, comfort, or fairness. It doesn't. But it does give you one sacred power, the ability to choose how you show up, no matter what happens. And that's where your real power lives. Now that you know the world owes you nothing, let me ask you something. What's more valuable, being noticed or being at peace? Let's dive into that. So, you've let go of the illusion that the world owes you anything. You've begun to choose peace over validation. Now, let's talk about something just as crucial. what it really means to be a man. Being a man isn't about survival. It's about transcending survival. Because you weren't made just to get by. You were made for more. Asterisk, you don't need a crowd of 100 people clapping for you. You don't need strangers validating your every move online. What you need is a small circle of people who genuinely care. And most importantly, you need that quiet voice inside your head that can say, I'm proud of the way I carry myself. And here's the hard-earned truth. The man who protects his peace becomes magnetic. Not because he's loud. Not because he demands attention, but because he's still. Stillness is strength. When you learn to stay grounded, to stay calm amidst the chaos, you stop chasing attention. It just follows you naturally. Because people feel the power in your calm. They notice your restraint. They admire your presence. And once you've tasted that kind of quiet power, you'll never trade it for noise again. But here's the thing, even with all the presence, the poise, the power, there's one final truth every man must confront, because sometimes it's not the noise around you. Asterisk, it's the silence within that causes the most damage. Let's talk about that next. In the last section, we talked about calmness, self-respect, and quiet strength. But there's one final truth that men often avoid, not because it's complicated, but because it hits right where it hurts: validation. And how we chase it, often without even knowing. Here's something most men will never admit, and certainly not out loud. We've all, at some point, chased a woman, not because we loved her, but because we needed her to make us feel enough. That woman you placed high on a pedestal. You thought she could fix the emptiness. That if you could just win her, everything would make sense. The doubts would fade. The loneliness would hush. The shame would disappear. But here's the brutal truth. She can't give you what you haven't built for yourself. The woman you desire, the one you dream about, chase, and romanticize. She's not your savior. She's a mirror. She reflects exactly where you are in life. If you're whole, you'll attract wholeness. Asterisk, but if you're broken, you'll only attract chaos. It's really that simple. You see, most men get this part completely wrong. They make her the prize. They build their confidence around her reaction. They beg for her time, her energy, her approval. Instead of building their own foundation. But here's the thing. A high-value woman, the kind you actually want, is never drawn to neediness. She's not fooled by fake confidence. She sees the fear behind your flex, and she walks. That's not because she's cold. It's because you're not ready. And no, that doesn't mean you're worthless. It means you're responsible. It means there's still work to do. Not for her, but for you. You want her to admire you? Be admirable. You want her to pursue you? Stop chasing validation. You want her to respect you? Start respecting yourself when no one's watching. Because the love you're searching for, it's not out there. It's what you create by becoming the kind of man who doesn't need to be chosen. Because he's already chosen himself. And when you finally become that man, you'll stop asking, does she like me? And start asking, is she even worthy of standing beside me? Because the woman is not the destination. You are. If even one of these lessons hit you in the gut, Good. That means you're still alive, dot. It means you still have time to change. But don't just scroll past, dot. Do something. If you're done watching your life drift by, dot, drop the word enough in the comments, dot. Let the world know you're choosing purpose over pain, dot, growth over games, dot. And if this video spoke to you, hit that subscribe button, dot. This is Pure Stoic Truth, your corner of the internet where we stop pretending, stop pleasing, and start rising. You're not alone, brother. Let's keep building, dot. And in our next video, we're exposing something that most men never talk about: 9 shocking female weaknesses that will change how you see women. Trust me, you won't want to miss this one.